to grovel for President Trump, mocking women, mocking black women. It's offensive and it's ugly. I've been on the receiving end of the bigotry and racism because of my name, just like David Perdue's mockery of Kamala Harris's name. And let me tell you, it was intentional and it was not an accident. His mispronunciation of Senator Harris's name is a bigoted and racist tactic straight from President Trump's playbook. Georgians deserve better. We deserve real leaders. We deserve leaders who represent all Georgians, no matter their name, their skin color, or their zip code. We deserve better than representatives who find joy in belittling and humiliating others for political cheers. That's not leadership. Real leadership commands compassion and empathy. We deserve leaders who find strength and pride in our diversity as a state. We deserve leaders who uplift our women of color and protect immigrants. And while we're at it, we deserve unifying leadership to combat this pandemic and someone who will listen to medical experts and put public health first. Senator Perdue's failed leadership is a grave disservice to all Georgians, and he's actually unfit for the office that he holds. And we've got exactly 14 days, 2 weeks, y'all. We have 2 weeks left to elect Jon Ossoff and Democrats up and down the ballot to get the leadership that we deserve in this state. So here's what I need you to do. I need everyone who's ever been upset by someone belittling you, humiliating you, bullying you. I need you to stand with us. I need you to stand up and exercise your right to vote. Drop your ballot off in a drop box today or show up at the polls and vote early. You can vote right now. Every day is election day right now in Georgia. So let's get this done, y'all, and let's elect the leaders we deserve by getting Jon Ossoff and Democrats up and down the ballot elected. Now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague in the state Senate, Senator Sheikh Rahman.
Thank you, Nikema. Appreciate it. Hi, I'm Senator Sheikh Rahman. I represent Georgia's 5th Senate District, which is part of Lawrenceville, Norcross, Lilburn, Duluth, Tucker, part of Peachtree Corner in Gwinnett County. I'm an immigrant from Bangladesh, the first Asian American ever elected to the Georgia Senate. I represent the most diverse state Senate district in Georgia and also one of the most diverse state Senate districts in the country. People in my district come from more than 100 different countries, speak more than 100 different languages, and I'm honored and blessed to represent them. Just like most of my constituency, I immigrated to this country because I believed in America. After finishing my high school, I came to North Carolina during the height of Iran hostage crisis during early 80s. One day I was walking down the side of the road to go home, and I was told, go home. They thought I was Iranian. Sometimes people refer to me raghead. I had no connection with Middle East or Iran. I survived those days and moved back to my newfound home in Georgia. I love this state. I love its people. People that I represent come from all walks of life, from all 50 states and territories. It's not uncommon for them to be subject of harassment, discrimination, and mocked because of their funny name. It may be funny to some folks, but it's not funny to me, not to my people. I cannot pronounce all the names that are out there myself that I represent. But I never thought I would hear people who represent Georgia to mock people's name. I cannot even think the average folk in my district like to mock others' name. We are better than that. Otherwise, I wouldn't be elected as Georgia State Senate. When I saw our Senator, David Perdue, mocking Senator Kamala Harris' name, I was in disbelief. and dumbfounded. It was disrespectful. If someone had told me that, I would not believe it. Georgia is better than that. David Perdue proved us he's not fit to represent our diverse and welcoming state of Georgia. We deserve better. We need a unifying leadership who understands and reflects the diversity of this state and can combat this pandemic and can help rebuild our economy. We need someone who can understand our values and respect the people of Georgia. We need Jon Ossoff. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce State Representative Angelica Couch, who is also an immigrant from Jones Creek, Georgia. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Rahman. Good morning. I am Representative Angelica Couch, and I represent one of the most diverse districts in Georgia, Johns Creek. My district is made up of so many families like mine, people who immigrated to the United States and swore an oath of allegiance during our naturalization ceremonies. I moved to the United States in 1997, and my family fell in love with America and what America stood for. My husband and I wanted to give our two daughters more opportunities than we had growing up, and our entire family became US citizens in 2011. We did that because we saw the strengths in diversity and the respect that people from every corner of the world deserve. We've all seen a rise in divisive, offensive words from politicians. They are elected officials who for years have resorted to shameful tactics in a desperate attempt to save their jobs. And it's time for that to end. A few days ago, I watched a sitting senator mock the name of our vice presidential nominee. He didn't mispronounce it. It wasn't an innocent mistake. His words were filled with malice as he attempted to get a cheap laugh out of the crowd. My district has one of the largest populations of Indian Americans in the state. Sometimes I get stuck on names. Sometimes I have to ask again. Sometimes I have to repeat my name to someone because it isn't so common either. When people genuinely care to do right, they ask, they listen. And David Perdue took a name that has deep meaning in South Asian culture and the Hindu religion and turned it into a punchline. It took him seconds to tell so many people who choose to make America our home that he thinks of us as foreign, as outsiders. But we are just as American as he is, and we vote. David Perdue is unfit to serve the needs of this diverse state. He is unfit to stand up for the people who have been mocked, who have been made to feel small, and who have been made to feel not American enough. We are so much better, and we deserve so much better. We need to elect Jon Ossoff because families across the state are hurting. They are hurting from a lack of health care. They are hurting from COVID ravaging their communities, and they are hurting from being ignored by the very people elected to serve them. I know that when elected, Jon will spend his days lifting us up instead of tearing our communities down. I already have cast my vote for Jon Ossoff, and I'm encouraging you to take advantage of early voting and go cast your ballot for him now. Thank you. And now it's my great honor to introduce my colleague and friend, Representative B. Nguyen.
Good morning. My name is State Representative B. Nguyen, or Nguyen. It's not an easy name to say or to spell, but it is my family name. The name reminds me of the great sacrifices my parents endured to get to this country. It was over 40 years ago that my parents arrived here with nothing but the clothes on their backs. They fled their country in the middle of the night and endured a horrific and traumatic escape from Vietnam, where my dad was held a prisoner of war for 3 years. It was through the spirit of bipartisanship, Democratic President Jimmy Carter and Iowa's Governor, Republican Robert Ray, that my parents were resettled in America. This reflects the best of America, a welcoming America, where immigrants and refugees are given the opportunity to build their American dream. And my parents did just that. But today, that spirit is absent. And that message of exclusion is exactly what Senator David Perdue conveyed when he disrespected Senator Kamala Harris's name. That message of exclusion is also reflected in Senator David Perdue's anti-immigrant sentiment. And we see it. We see it when he is silent on babies in cages. We see it when he is silent on the Muslim ban. We see it when he is silent on the disproportionate number of immigrant workers infected by COVID-19 in our poultry factories in Georgia. We see it when he is silent by the forced hysterectomies and unauthorized surgeries on immigrant women happening in our very own state. That is not the kind of America I want to live in. That is not the kind of America I want my family to live in. We say, what is in a name? My family name is one that was born National Congresswoman.
the president.